tier 2 part assembly. So we need 300 sheets, 500 screws, 200... Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's bad in that I need to make a metric shit ton of wire.
Yeah.
That's the only... Yeah, okay, here we go. Hang on. I need to pin it so we can work on it. Part assembly, select milestone.
Oh, I made a bunch of screws, so that'll help out at least.
I'm making a bunch of wire. I'll let you know when I hit 200 cable.
Okay. Another thing that might be useful for us to get is going to be like the chainsaw. Because it allows us to cut down trees and other foliage.
Yeah. So, the other day, I was reading about people's computer build nightmares. Yeah, well, bad things that happen and stuff. Some of them were kind of funny. 200. So, as far as computer nightmare builds that I heard of, this one person mentioned that this person brought in a computer, and they said it just kept blue screening. All right. So they opened up the computer, and everything in it looked fine. So they decided, okay, well, they probably didn't spread, the thermal paste right or something there,
Oh no.
The CPU. That was what they quickly determined. Yeah, it's probably overheating is what's going on, and so it's blue screening because of that. So by this point in time, the person's boss and a number of other co-workers were gathered around because they were all kind of curious why this person's computer wasn't working. Anyway, so they removed the heatsink and stuff. They cleaned off the thermal paste because the thermal paste looked good. So then they thought, well, shoot, maybe the thermal paste actually is conductive, and maybe it's not thermal paste, but maybe it is a conductive one, and it is making contact with something it shouldn't. 200. So, they cleaned off the thermal paste and stuff. Here's my contribution so far. And lo and behold, guess what they found?
Did they leave the sticker on?
No, not on the heatsink or anything like this. No, the little Intel sticker or AMD sticker that comes with the processor that they expect you to put on the computer case?
Yeah.
They put it on the CPU.
Oh no. Aha. Oh, okay,
yeah.
Well, that's oof, that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll be honest. One time I forgot to take the kind of plastic thing off of the heatsink, and I put it on. Surprisingly, it didn't seem to affect it much. So, yeah. Needless to say, when I built the current computer that I'm using and stuff, and switched to a water cooler and stuff, are you ready for the funny thing with that one?
What's that?
You could say, I shouldn't have added my plates like this, so let me take those.
So you put the plate on?
I can't take those out. Okay, well, just deposit stuff in there. No, I ran out of iron for making plates here.
Oh, gotcha.
So when I got it, on the thing was a big old, it was, on the Be Quiet, water cooler. It said, on the plate, it said, remove this sticker or something like that. It was very obvious and stuff. And I was thinking, well, I'm glad they did that, because with the one that I had purchased where I messed up with that, I didn't even realize there was plastic on there. It was so, perfectly clear, and transparent and stuff. There was no writing on it or anything. It was very easy to do. I think
it shoots fireballs.
Have you found a blast-ended screw?
I found a spitter.
I can't remember what it was called in Harry Potter. It was something like a blast-ended screw. Out of curiosity, what are you working on while I'm working on this? It sounds like you're exploring.
I am gathering resources.
By that, do you mean you're on slug quest? You're just gonna
Yes,
grab all the
I
slugs?
have gathered 3 slugs.
Gotta catch 'em all. Slug quest.
So I should probably start heading back to base at this point.
Oh yeah, you want to see me, complete this objective, huh?
First, I was also mostly gathering wood and grass so that we could get keep the biomass burner going.
Yeah, that's useful at least. What we need is a hog farm. Chop them up and then burn their bodies.
I mean, maybe
That's
we should fence off an area.
I don't think that's how that works.
Aw.
Why are you so disappointed by that?
I almost thought I had a way to automate that.
I think there is, but it's much later.
That makes sense. I know that wood is the next one that is a valuable resource for it, but that's a little bit harder to come by.
So, yesterday was National Pie Day.
Ah, yeah.
It most disappointing in my case, because out of curiosity, what's like your go-to pie? You're gonna have a slice of pie. What's it gonna be?
Mine is a delightful strawberry rhubarb.
Interesting. That I did not expect. But I seem to remember Kat mentioning that actually, that you really like rhubarb. So I should have known that. So the reason, all right. So for me, the reason why I asked you that question is because for me, my go-to pie is probably a chocolate cream pie. All right. Don't get me wrong. I like apple. I like pumpkin. And stuff. There's a lot of pies I like, but it's hard to go wrong with a chocolate cream pie in terms of.
Yeah, that's fair.
With apple, there's different types of apple pies. There's Dutch, there's lattice and stuff. Personally, I prefer, just a nice solid crust, pie top and stuff. All right.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with lattice. Lattice is all right. But who's gonna go to the trouble of making a lattice for an apple pie? I don't know. But anyways. Then there's the matter of, okay, were the apples the right, sweetness and stuff? Did they cook nice and tender and stuff? There's so much that goes into making a good apple pie, alright? In the case of, my family, it's the classic thing of, did we remember to put the butter, the extra butter on top before the pie crust? There's been a few times that's been forgotten. Anyways, but with a chocolate cream pie, it's fine. You can go to Walmart or something and buy an Edwards, chocolate cream pie, and it's gonna be good. All right.
Okay.
Just don't have to put it in the oven at that point. Just let it thaw. You're good to go. You got your delicious chocolate cream pie ready to go. So the reason why I bring this up is the wonderful issue of, for Lent, I gave up chocolate. So I definitely could not partake in Pie Day this year. And you know what?
Gotcha.
I really like my chocolate. All right, chocolate cake, chocolate pie, chocolate milk. I would get this one chocolate cake from my local grocery store, and I would get the chocolate milk there because there's this one specific thing of chocolate milk that it's not, it's like this refreshing chocolate, So I'd eat this really chocolatey cake while drinking this chocolate milk. And it sounds like it should be a chocolate overload, but the chocolate milk actually helps take away the chocolatiness of the cake. It's crazy.
Well, I suppose if it works.
And I haven't really been craving chocolate, but now that I can't have it, now I want it.
Uh-huh. I hate to say, that's normally how it works in my experience.
Are you ready? Launching.
Milestone reached.
I'm curious how it
the assembler can
clears the
produce
tower.
more complex parts, including the first project part, smart plating, which is crucial for initiating project assembly. Project
have a
parts
problem
must
there.
be delivered to the space elevator. By completing your contracted duties as part of project assembly, you will definitely be helping achieve Fix-It Company goals without any other ulterior motive. Note: humans cannot craft project parts. Do not worry about your inadequate crafting skill when compared to an assembler. Fix-It cherishes your innate human abilities, such as walking, striking objects, and commodifying natural resources.
I was using my innate human
The
ability.
remains research belong
I
to
have
an
no other
organism that
purpose.
tends to nest near objects
Uh-huh.
emitting specific types of resonance. Spitters are called as such due to their ability to create and spit plasma across long distances.
You said it was lava.
Spitter remains can
Or
now
fire.
be made into
Sorry,
alien
fire.
protein, and additional
Sorry,
research may
plasma.
reveal options for improving Pioneer safety during exploration.
I mean, technically speaking, I mean, this is the interesting thing. What is fire, really, when you think about it?
Just combusting energy.
Well, see, that's just it. It's something combusting and
Summer
stuff, you
sloop
know?
analysis
Yeah,
completed.
destruction.
Summer sloops are somewhere between battery and conduit, harvesting energy from
Fire's
pockets of
more
space
impressive
with
than
complete
plasma, really,
disregard
when you
for the
think of
rules
it.
of the space-time continuum, and distributing it into its connected ecosystem. This energy,
Let the energies harvest until the waves reach our shores. Consume.
similarities to the hypothetical force of dark energy to potentially
That
be
wasn't
one
at all
and the
odd.
same. It can now be tracked by the
okay.
object scanner.
I think there's a bug in the code.
I'm a little worried now.
You're just now starting to get worried? You're a little late to the game there.
The metal has been named Caterium after Fixit's greatest CEO Katerina Parks. It has been added as a viable alternative to gold in industrial applications, specifically in advanced electronics due to its superconductivity, malleability, and corrosion resistance.
I wonder if they'll name something after me.
I'm sure they will.
This is your way of getting back at me.
Research completed.
Last
Caterium
time of all
ingot
the
recipe
research.
unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Alright. I guess we need an
don't have
assembler, huh?
that. Yeah, I think so.
This fruit, dubbed the paleberry due to its tendency to stay light in color even when ripe, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
What do I need for this thing?
This fruit, dubbed the barrel nut after its distinctive color, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
There we go. I can now build the assembler.
Nice. Now we can finally start building things without having to focus on it.
No, those are constructors. The
Oh.
assembler is purely for, you know, getting stuff into the thing. I know, I can get up here to see how to place it.
Research to develop the rebar gun is now available. When completed, you will be in possession of a tool effective against any local obstacles actively objecting to the Fix-It mission.
You will not. Objection to the Fix-It mission is not allowed. Need one more click. Alright, it's coming in for a landing. Do you clear the tower without ruining my immersion? I'm just picturing myself out here with some, like, glow sticks guiding it down.
Yeah, honestly, it came in perfectly.
Like the game's intelligent.
Nice.
I'm just making the belt now for it. Alright. I'm doing your method of just keep a bunch of parts on you and feel better.
Yeah.
You'll feel better
so
tomorrow
what
if
is
you have
this one producing now?
I don't have it set to produce anything, but we're gonna need it to produce. See, this is the beautiful thing about this. We tell it to produce whatever we need it to produce, and it's gonna produce it. So,
Right.
you know. We need it to produce smart plating. Smart plating requires 1 reinforced iron plate and 1 rotor.
Okay.
And power. Of course it needs power.
Do I need to start gathering more iron? Is that what needs to happen right now?
Could you tell me how to make a rotor? That is something I don't
rotor
know.
has to be researched.
What? We unlocked
Yeah.
it. Didn't we?
I don't think so. Let me see. Rotor is part of...
Yeah, rotor's unlocked. It requires 5 pipes and 25 screws.
Okay, gotcha.
That doesn't make sense to me, but sure. So we need something to make pipes, and we need something to make screws, pretty much. Would be my advice. The other component it needed was sheets, wasn't it?
So...
Yeah, reinforced iron plates.
Okay.
So what we should do, I think, is we should set up a second iron mine.
That's probably a good idea.
Have, and create a system so that it takes the input from one iron mine to make, rods, isn't it? And then turn the rods into screws. And then the other one makes plates.
Okay, that works.
Now, there's 2 ways we could do this. Excuse me. Now, there's 2 ways we could do this. We could just have it directly feeding in, or we could have all the iron go into a container and then split it coming out of the container to feed it. So we just take iron and it feeds it as needed. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we could be more precise with the ratios. So, in an ideal world with the ratios, you would have like, you would need like 3 things producing, oh boy, do you know how complex? Oh boy, just do the multiplication of the ratios there. Oh, good grief. For peak efficiency, just to produce this one part is kind of nutty. We could just manually walk the iron plates over to the machines.
Yeah, we could.
That might make more sense.
They're not regular iron plates. They are reinforced iron plates.
Oh, well, we need a humongous amount of screws then.
So how many?
Boy.
So just for rough,
it only gets more complicated from here. Just as a side note.
Oh yeah.
Go
How
on.
many of the reinforced iron plates do we need for this order?
One moment. We need 1 reinforced iron plate per smart plating, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio,
50.
so you need 50 reinforced iron plates and 50 rotors. So it's 12 screws per iron plate, so 50 times 12. And then it's, for a rotor, do you remember how many it is, just for the screws?
I haven't even looked at the rotor yet.
Alright, I'll go back and look at the rotor. I'm wanting a crafting bench over there just so I don't have to keep walking over. For a rotor, it's like 25 screws per rotor. So 25 times 50. We need 1,850 screws.
Well, 100 iron plates makes 100 iron ingots makes 400, or makes 100 iron rods, which makes 400 screws.
Alright, I kind of glazed over there. I'm still stuck on the
Okay,
number of
it's a lot.
screws we need.